Good morning.
Afternoon. Almost. No, you're right. It's still morning.
Woo, we're close.
Happy Wednesday. We talked a lot this morning before we started.
Yes, we did. Happy Wednesday, y'all. This is the WOW podcast, Wendy's on Wellness Wednesday, WOWW. And I am Dr. Wendy Sue. I am the owner of Freedom Holistic Wellness. I'm an alternative medical practitioner, author, co-owner with my husband of Grace and Grove Homestead. Easy for me to say. Wife, mom, Gigi. Lover of Jesus and lover of all things natural. And this is my bestie, Wendy Flournoy.
Hi, guys. Wendy Flournoy, certified hypnotherapist, herbalist, forager, teacher, educator, student, wife, mom, Gigi, owner of the Restoration Garden, lover of all things non-toxic and God-given.
Amen, sister. Yeah, we have been busy this morning with our planning. We've been working on all of our plans, finalizing all of our plans for this Saturday for our first retreat.
I'm so excited.
Me too. And I'm extra excited that you're coming in on Friday and I get some girl time with my girl. So it's going to be so much fun. I'm really looking forward to this retreat. But let's talk first. What have we been up to the last week? What have you been up to, girl?
Oh my goodness. I making soaps and making pot simmers, and my freeze dryer has been working overtime.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
So all the things. So this morning I was tidying the house because that got a little neglected last week.
I bet.
How about you? I know you've had a lot going on.
Ooh, I have had, since we met last week, 18 different sessions of Zoom Q&As, live Q&As to talk to people about the new direction of Freedom Holistic Wellness. I am so amped up. I'm so excited. I really am seeing this as a revolution of changing the way that we've been doing,
Oh, absolutely.
Integrative medicine.
Yeah.
If I can give people a way to have a practitioner in their pocket, and have the support and the education and everything that all of my private clients have had, but do it on a big scale so that it's lower cost for many people. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited about this. So
I have to say the prices that you have on it, to me, would be affordable to most anyone.
Yeah. And I have continuously heard from people that they can't believe how little I'm charging. And I'm like, because that's not what it's about for me. I know what things are going to cost.
Yeah.
I know I need to, get this funded ahead of time so that we can make this transition from being everybody who works with Freedom Holistic Wellness being private pay to the majority being in a subscription model where I can serve so many more people. But why do I want to charge tons of money when the whole point is I want to make it accessible to the masses? So
reach the masses.
Yeah. Do you want to see, hopefully it'll show just a little snippet of what I've been working on, y'all?
Absolutely.
This is rough because I'm still in the early stages of it, but can you see it?
I can.
Oh, so This is a new community we're building. It's going to be in an app form or on your computer. The Freedom Holistic Wellness community. We're going to have Ask Dr. Wendy Sue platform, all of my resources, a temple wellness area that's optional for Bible studies. We're getting ready to start an Advent study together as a group. All my recipes and e-cookbooks that are all searchable so you can find every single recipe. You're going to get weekly meal plans and recipes and shopping lists. All of my previous, every time I do a group program and have charged for it, I'm now no longer going to charge for it. It's all going to be happening live in this group. So right now we're doing healthy holidays in here, our calendar where you've got access to the Zoom links right there. So you don't have to go searching for them. So yeah, this is going to be,
I love the platform. It is so user friendly and everything is all in one place.
I'm so thrilled. I mean, it's going to revolutionize the way people work on their preventative care.
Yes.
And I couldn't be more excited. If you want more information about this, please reach out to me. I'm looking for as many people as possible, though I do have a limited number. I have a cap because I'm giving back so much to people who are doing this, but I'm looking for a fair number of people to help me launch this and to sow into this ministry and mission right up front, and then reap so many more benefits than you can imagine on the back end. So if you are interested in this, I have an information video that I put together. Just because you missed one of my 18 live sessions doesn't mean you're off the hook.
That's
I'm
right.
going live on every platform and fighting all the algorithms, because unfortunately what's happening is, and one of the reasons I'm doing this is because the algorithms are set up so that we are not getting heard. As a matter of fact, when I typed in my title of what we were talking about today, YouTube wouldn't even let us broadcast on YouTube. So I had to change the title just for YouTube for us to be able to broadcast. And I'm so over the censorship.
Yeah.
I'm over the censorship. I'm over the greed, because
even being shadow banned, because a lot of times you don't even know that your stuff's not getting out there.
You have no idea. I did an experiment this week. It was fascinating. Well, it was actually last week, but it was absolutely fascinating. In the very same day, I did a post that would be deemed semi-political, because I posted that I was so happy that I was ID'd for the first time I ever voted in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Where I posted it, I have 6,100 people who follow me. Now, when you're a content creator, it gives you these insights, and you can see how many people actually see the post, how many people it's put in front of. It doesn't have anything to do with likes, loves, all of that. It's
how many people viewed it
are actually presented that post. Okay. 5,200 people out of 6,100 were presented that post. That same day, I posted something about my Healthy Holidays program across every platform, where I have a total of about 26,000 followers, and 43 people saw it.
That's crazy.
43 people. And what did I get? I got all these little prompts from Facebook wanting me to spend money on ads. I'm like, no, not happening. So when I tell you that I am working hard to revolutionize the way we get the message out there, and by me creating my own community for people to get this information, there's no ads, because I paid to make sure there was no ads, paid the highest tier. There's no politics, no squirrel chasing things that are going to get you away from what you went on there.
Nothing blocking anything, nothing shadow banning anything.
No algorithms.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get. Whatever we're talking about, it's going to be in there, and it's going to be all available to you. And it's going to revolutionize the way I'm able to educate people. And I really hope more practitioners go to a model like this, because it's going to allow people to silence the noise and to actually get true healing, and to be able to participate in something so much lower cost than any of the high dollar programs that are typically private pay.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited, girl. That's what I've been working on like crazy.
I'm excited too. That's why I was the first one to sign up.
Yes, you were. She told me when I told her this was coming. She said, "Whatever you do, you tell me when you're about to let it go, because I'm signing up first."
I want to be first.
She was. We've just started getting some people rolling in there, so it's a slow roll, but we're getting there, and I'm fully believing God's going to see this fully funded. What we need to do to get it truly launched on January 1st. I believe he's going to have this fully funded before Thanksgiving.
Amen.
I'm naming it and claiming it, girl.
Amen, sister.
Y'all are going to see my face a lot until that happens, because I'm going to have to do everything I can to break through the algorithm. So it's going to be crazy. But
So
that's
when y'all see her out there working hard, share her stuff.
Yeah, for real. Share it. Get the word out there. Ask me what the heck is going on, because that's the thing too, is that you might only get snippets and not understand what in the world this is and why I need support in this. I can't do it alone. I don't need thousands. I need, hundreds in the beginning, but I still need support to get this totally turned on its head. And then once we do that, game on. Bye-bye Facebook, bye-bye all of them. I mean, I'll pop in there and show y'all pictures of my grandkids every now and then. I'll let you know when I got a program coming up so you can come over to the platform, but I'm not going to waste my energy there anymore. I'm just not, or any of those social media. So I will tell you what even frustrated me. I even paid for one, not a high level at on X, but I even paid for a little bit of a boost in X a while back, I guess a year ago when I rejoined there.
I did too, to get the certified check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think I mean, I don't have a huge following over there because I don't spend a ton of time there, maybe 1,300 people. When I post stuff that, like what I'm talking about, like the healthy holiday stuff, like 3 people will see it.
Yep.
I'm not talking about likes or interactions. Again, I can see
views.
The
Which
views.
I didn't think X was doing that, but they are.
They clearly are, because they're not seeing it.
I've been utilizing TikTok a lot more because I got approved to be a TikTok seller.
Oh, nice.
So I can put my stuff on TikTok just like Etsy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I'll use it until they make me mad enough to not use it.
There you go. Well, I'm going to keep putting stuff out there just to let people know that, hey, this is where we are.
Right.
But if I can build this base, that's not where my energy is going to be. Right now, my energy has to be, hey, I'm screaming over here. This is what I'm up to. You all look at me, look at me, look at me. And that's not what I want to do. I didn't go into this to have the best post to shake up the algorithms. I didn't do that. I went into this to help guide people to healing and to be fueled for their calling and to realize what true health actually feels like. To have to waste so much energy on the social media games, it's infuriating. And that's a recent thing, y'all. I mean, it used to be 4 or 5 years ago when I would let people know that I had something going on, not only would a ton of people see it, but, the whole point when a business runs a special, is to get more people at a more affordable rate and to bring more people in. Well, what happens nowadays, because they want you to run ads, because if y'all haven't noticed, in the last year and a half, 2 years, ads have gone off the chain on Meta.
That's all I see.
And
when I go into Facebook, that's all I see is ads. And I have to actually click on friends to see what's going on with
and even when you click on a friend, you'll think that one of their ads is in their news feed, and it's not. And it's like, well, how did that get there? I know that person doesn't care anything about this. It's crazy. So, but in the last year and a half or so, instead of when I post and say, hey, got this amazing special, and 20 people sign up, now I might get 1 or 2 to sign up. And it's not because people don't care. I can't tell you how many times people will say, oh, I didn't know you were doing that. No, because they won't put it in front of you unless I'm paying them. I'm done with playing the games. I just want real information in front of people that they can use when they need it and want it, and for me to be there for them. So get rid of the noise and the distraction, girl. That's what I'm going for. And I'm so excited. So y'all, I'm so passionate about this. I could talk about this all day. I have been nonstop for a week, been talking about this. So please reach out to me. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me help you. And you find out what I'm up to. because if you don't ask me now, you're going to be seeing it all over social media over the next trust and believe, because you're going to see this face. I'm going to be live like crazy trying to get the word out. So I'm excited.
I love it.
So let's talk about the herb of the week.
Y'all, with Thanksgiving coming up, I felt appropriate that we should pay homage to our beautiful friend, sage.
I love sage.
I don't know about y'all, but I use a lot of sage during the holiday season with cooking and stuff. So I went out this morning. I have 3 sage plants. They're all the same. So I picked some this morning.
Oh, I can just smell it through the screen.
Smells so good. And you know, you can get it like this. This is common sage. You can get it variegated. You can get it tricolored. You can get purple sage. You can get white sage. They all have the same constituents and benefits to them.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's what I was about to ask you, because I know a lot of times different ones benefit different things. So that's cool.
Well, the only one that's different would be the white. The white, and I'd have to look this up because I don't use it very often. So, and when I do use it, it's never for cooking. It's for just cleansing or using it in cleaners and things like that. I've never used it in cooking because I wasn't sure if you could.
Oh, okay.
It smells the same. It feels the same. It's a little fuzzier.
Okay.
Which I think makes it good for burning and for using for cleansing.
Got it.
So sage, I love it in sausage.
Oh, goodness,
I love it in stuffing. So of course, this time of year, I use a lot of it. It is actually in the mint family.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So does it spread a lot like mint?
It grows. It does not spread like mint. It grows more like a bush.
Okay.
So it grows up and out. It loves the sun. It is a perennial. It doesn't die when it gets cold. It will lose some of the leaves and things like that. And you'll see it gets a little sad during the winter, but it's kind of evergreen.
Don't we all, girl? Don't we all?
It has seasonal affective disorder like us. And the flowers in the different sages, they can be pink, they can be purple, they can be white, they can be green. So it's like, but basically they're all the same family, just different species.
Cool.
Yeah. Ancient herb, another ancient herb.
Love the ancient herbs.
The ancient Grecians and Romans felt that the sage was a sacred herb. The name sage comes from the Latin called salvia.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That I knew.
So its official name is salvia, which means to save or to heal. So in the ancient times, knowing that that's what it meant, they pretty much used sage for all kinds of things that I wouldn't even think of using sage for today. The Greek physicians praised sage for its ability to sharpen the mind and preserve memory. I have never heard that about sage. Okay, so
I know that when I was doing my herbalism classes, and they were looking at all the different things, that was one of the things to put in the concoctions to help mind clarity.
Okay.
And so that makes sense. I didn't know that was specifically why, but that makes sense.
Well, I think rosemary kind of overpowered with the memory.
Very true.
And things like that. So it's like, okay, so sage is known in the ancient times for the same thing, but we don't really hear about that as much as like we hear rosemary being the memory herb, right?
Yeah. I wonder if it's why they pair so well together.
Probably.
Because you think about it, when I shove stuff inside my turkey, it's getting a whole bunch of fresh sage and fresh rosemary.
That's right.
And I really do believe, I know that sounds so silly, but I know that a lot of times when we pair things together because they are so aromatically pleasing together or taste so well together, they have an ancient reason why
That's
they
right. The synergies between them just make them even more of a powerhouse.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely, girl.
God is smart. He's smart. He is smart.
Let me tell you what, he made everything perfectly.
Yes, he did. He did not make any accidents.
No, and it's kind of sad that we don't have this ancient knowledge anymore because the world has chosen to kind of cover it over. Let's just say that.
Ooh, that's leading in soon to what I'm going to be talking about today.
And I'm just going to remind everyone that I'm not a doctor. Don't play one on YouTube. Seek your medical professional for advice on what herbs you should be using. This is just for entertainment purposes only.
Oh, the world of censorship that we have to make sure we play to. Oh,
so it's interesting that the ancient Egyptians used sage for fertility.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. And they also used it as a preservative for their meats.
Huh.
And I'm like, okay, that kind of, and along with this, let's go to the dark side for a second. They used it for embalming.
Did they really?
Which I found fascinating.
Yeah.
I was like, wild. So they use it to preserve meats and for embalming. And I was like, okay, well, how did they even figure that out? The Egyptians are first on record to use sage for digestive purposes, ailments and infections.
Mm-hmm.
During the Middle Ages, Europeans always had sage in their medicine chests.
Mm-hmm.
Monks grew it in the monastery gardens, and they used it for every illness.
Wow.
So whether they used it by itself or mixed it with things, I couldn't find that out. But I think that I did find information on how they created Four Thieves vinegar. So that was a combination of herbs and vinegars and things like that. Yeah. So I'm thinking that they blended things for every illness. Using sage was in everything.
Yeah.
So that's the assumption that I came to. Don't take that for a fact because I couldn't find the actual answer to that. But on everything that I did find, that was the assumption that they added it to every medicinal thing they did. They added sage.
It's in my hormone and endocrine toolkit.
Yeah.
You know how I have toolkits for every different body system that is experiencing inflammation. I have it in my hormone and endocrine inflammation toolkit.
So what an interesting question that I found that a lot of the European middle-aged doctors would say to people is, why should a man die while sage grows in his garden?
Oh, I love that.
So I was like, okay, so they believed
not dying today. I'm gonna go pick some sage.
They believed in the sage that much.
So funny.
And not until Native Americans came along did sage become used as more ceremonial. Because you hear all the time about people burning sage to clean their house and things like that. Mm-hmm. Well, it does. And it's not woo-woo, it's science. Because of the properties in the sage, when it's burning and the smoke that is released, it's antibacterial. So it kills bacteria in the air and on surfaces when you burn it and the smoke goes throughout. So no woo-woo, just using what God gave us.
Yeah. Well, and that's just like any of these herbs, honey, or anything that we teach. That's why this is such a big passion of mine, is making sure that people see God in all of it.
Yes.
Because he gave us all of these things for medicine. It is in the 1900s when we screwed all that up and thought we needed chemicals for every, which is the antithesis of everything that he, had taught us for centuries, or millennia. But then, you've got this whole group of people that aren't believers that have turned it into, oh, I need sage to get rid of the evil spirits. No, you need Jesus.
That's right.
You need Jesus. You need to claim the name of Jesus. And oh, by the way, burning sage is going to help with the medicinal, for the medicinal properties and for the cleansing, but it has nothing to do with sage getting rid of.
It has nothing to do with spirits and bad energy or anything like that for me. Okay. Right. The only thing, you're right. The only thing that's going to take care of that is the powerful name of Jesus.
Amen, sister. If you happen to be burning sage in your house when that's happening, well, good. You're going to get rid of the bacteria along with them demons. But I'm just telling you right now, it's, it drives me nuts, because one of the things I have had to fight the most since I became an alternative medical practitioner is my own brothers and sisters in Christ looking at me like, oh gosh, you're doing woo-woo stuff. That's anti-God.
I run into the same thing all the time about hypnotherapy. Yeah. And it's like, you definitely can be a Christ believer and be a hypnotherapist. You absolutely can. Mm-hmm. You can believe in the power of herbs and be a Christ follower.
Yeah. Just believe where it came from.
Exactly. Because all of that is God-given. The power of your mind is God-given. Every single herb and plant and tree and fruit is God-given.
Yep. It was so funny because Wendy and I were chatting about this morning when she said she was going to do sage, because it was just recent that I was wrestling with, because every once in a while I wrestle with something and it makes me so mad that I even do, because I understand where other people are coming from because of what today's world has done to it. And so, I was like, Lord, please show me some biblical basis on some of these herbs. And so that I don't think, because honestly, the school I went to they were respectful of my belief system. They allowed me in all the papers I wrote and everything like that to be fully focused on Jesus. But I had a lot of woo-woo professors, I had a lot of woo-woo people around me. And, so I sometimes have to question myself, okay, am I learning this from something that from their perspective or from a Bible believing perspective? And so this morning, Wendy and I were going back and forth because I just did research, probably 2 weeks ago, and I had it saved in my notes about, how much herbs were used in biblical times.
I mean, it's what they had.
It is what they had.
And they didn't have pharmaceuticals.
And even when, and I mean, for food too, but even when they were, putting out offerings on the, in the tabernacle to God, they were burning the incense and the herbs, but they weren't doing it because they were worshiping the sage. No. They were doing it because they were worshiping God. And so it matters.
They burned a lot of herbs, frankincense, myrrh, hyssop. I mean, in worship, in sacrifice.
Yeah. So I hate that wrestle, but it's our current society that's done it, and how many woo-woo people are out there spreading stuff that's against God. So you ain't getting that here.
Burn sage in your house. It smells great.
Yes.
It will kill bacteria.
And it's a heck of a lot healthier than them Yankee candles y'all are burning. Just saying.
That's right.
Just saying.
That's right. All right. So we know that it's antibacterial. It's also antimicrobial. Mm-hmm. It's an antioxidant. It's astringent. It's an antiseptic. It's anti-inflammatory. It's a carminative. It's a circulatory stimulant. It's a nervine tonic. and a hormone modulator.
See, they weren't kidding. It really does do everything.
It does. I mean,
I'm planting it next year. I know right where it's going to.
That's right. It's easily propagated too. So if you want me to cut you some and start propagating, I got you, girl.
Perfect.
All right. It's great for digestive health. This is internal uses. Digestive health, because it stimulates the appetite. Okay. And
I don't need any help in that department.
Me neither. Some people do. If you're that person, you want a little more sage in your life.
No wonder we eat so much at Thanksgiving. What the heck?
Because of sage. It does ease bloating, gas, nauseousness, and sluggish digestion. Mm-hmm. It's useful in infections or inflammation of the digestive tract. If you have colitis or maybe even mild food poisoning, it's really good in helping with that. Cognitive and nervous system support, and used to enhance memory, concentration, and alertness. There has been, I found 4 modern research studies on the benefits for mild cognitive decline and Alzheimer's disease and using sage, and they found improvement.
Nice.
Yeah. Like I said, when I deep dive looking for these studies that they're doing and the research that they're doing, there's a whole lot going on that we don't even know about, that they're finding out about the natural things.
Yeah, it don't fit the narrative.
Right.
You know what? I just had this thought pop into my head, and I'm gonna have to look into this. You might have the information. Once upon a time, when I was learning a whole lot about tryptophan, mm-hmm. which is in turkey, mm-hmm. in poultry, and it's in a lot of things. But, in particular, poultry, that's the thing that makes us all go, get really sleepy after Thanksgiving meal. There are certain herbs that intensify the tryptophan effect. And I feel like sage was one of them.
Sage is probably one of them, for sure.
Which is really good. That's really good if you need help with your sleep and things like that.
Yes. It is also known to calm the nervous system because the nervine's in it, mm-hmm. But gently. So mm-hmm. It's not, because it calms the nervous system, but it stimulates the mind, which is rare. That it does the opposite of those, which helps with your mental fatigue while calming your nervous system. That's kind of amazing.
That is awesome. That is. It's the perfect blend of what we need. Do a digital detox and burn that sage.
Right. All right. It's also good for your immune and respiratory health. Mm-hmm. Great for sore throats, laryngitis, coughs, tonsillitis. Excellent if you made it as a tea and just gargled it. You don't even have to drink it. Just gargle it if you're having any kind of throat issues. Sage tea or sage tincture helps clear mucus and fight respiratory infections. Mm-hmm. Antimicrobials, so it acts against bacteria, viruses, and fungi.
Interesting.
One of the rare ones that does all 3. Usually you'll have one for this, one for this, one for this.
Yeah.
So that's a nice. In ancient times, I found out they took sage and they would make a tooth powder.
Oh, I guess because of all the antibacterial and all the properties.
The antiseptic and astringent properties, excellent for mouthwash, great for bleeding gums, ulcers, mouth infections, things like that. I'm like, that's amazing that they even knew all of this. You know what I mean?
I'm always amazed by that. It's like they have Google. You know what I mean? Like,
because we tend, the world we live in, I guess we tend to look at them as cavemen type or whatever. They didn't know anything, but they were probably a smarter civilization than us.
100%. They had to be. They had to survive.
Yes.
They didn't have the medicines that we have, and I would say they're probably better off in many cases.
Now, the lesser known uses for sage are topical for used as a compress for sprains, muscle aches, inflamed joints. You can use an infused oil or salve for wound healing, insect bites, skin infections, which that's interesting. I never really thought about it. So I might have to incorporate some sage into some of my skin balms.
I was just thinking that could be yet another ingredient in your triple antibiotic. It's going to be it's not going to be triple anymore. It's going to be.
We're going to have to come up with a new name.
Yes.
And, that's what's so fascinating about the herbs and stuff like that. It's like you could have different things growing on your property and use totally different herbs to come up with an antibiotic ointment. Yeah. And it still worked just as good.
Yeah. Yeah. That is wild.
Just pick your favorites. Yeah. How about hair rinse?
Really?
Reduces dandruff and darkens graying hair.
Huh.
We might have to do a little experiment on that.
Yeah.
We'll wild. See.
I know rosemary is so good for the hair, and again, interesting that they go so well together in so many other things.
Yes.
Do like a rosemary.
I might have to start putting them together in some of my herbal preparations for sure, because sage does a whole lot more than I've been using it for.
Yeah.
Just because when I get excited about something or an herb or whatever, I tend to just focus right on that. And not everything else that it does. But most of our herbs are like this. Mm-hmm. They do so many great, wonderful things in so many different ways and areas.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think one of the last points I have, blood sugar regulation.
Huh.
Early research suggests potential for lowering blood glucose and lipid levels.
That probably goes along with that, with the hormone and endocrine balance also. Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
I would think so. So what you want to do, let's talk about cautions and contraindications, because I am not a doctor and I don't play one on YouTube. Always seek your medical professional before using any herbs. This information is for entertainment purposes only.
You got that down to a science. I'm so proud of you.
All right. So you want to avoid large doses while pregnant, because easy for me to say. It can become a neurotoxin in large doses when you're pregnant, not for prolonged use. We've talked about this before. I'm of the mindset that I don't think that you should be taking anything every day.
No, agree.
Not even natural. Everything has its season. Okay. Yeah. You want to use sage in high doses with caution if you have epilepsy or have a tendency to have seizures. Under no circumstances whatsoever at all should you ingest sage oil unless you're under a professional care. Okay. So you can use it in tea form. You can use it as a poultice. You can use it as a salve, a gargle, infused oil. You can burn it. What else? Stuff it in a turkey.
I wonder if the sage essential oil, the sage smells so good, I wonder if that would work as a candle and have the same benefits.
I would think so. The only danger about the sage oil is with ingestion. I've read no precautions or horror stories about the smell.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I would say is I don't recall this being on my list, but I bet, because I'm always having to worry about what I'm burning around the cats.
Yes.
I know rosemary you can't do around the cats, so I bet you sage you can't either.
I wonder. Yeah, I wonder about that.
Yeah.
Because I know I burn it in my house.
I don't think it's the leaves, though. I think it's the concentrated oils that are something that the cats.
I've never burnt the oil, but I mean, what if we dried the leaves and then made it into a powder and put it in a candle? Because I know burning the leaves doesn't affect my dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to do some research on that.
Yeah. Yeah. That could be fun.
Look, I'm just going to be sitting over here huffing sage.
Did you ever think your teenage self would be huffing sage in your 50s instead of all the crazy stuff we were doing as teenagers? I would have never believed it.
Look, we're of the generation that we're lucky to be alive.
Heck yes. Heck yes, we are. No guidance. And, I don't know if this will kill me, but I'm going to try it once,
That's right. Let's see what happens.
In a nutshell.
And I still have that mindset really bad too, because I will not hesitate to experiment with things that people say don't do.
But she's never going to tell you to do that on our podcast.
No, it's for entertainment purposes.
You were so much fun. I cannot wait to squeeze your neck on Friday.
I cannot wait to see you.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be so much fun. All right, girl, what else you got on sage? Or you
that is my full spiel on sage.
Wonderful. Well, I'm gonna really disrupt the YouTube world today, which is why I had to change the title on YouTube. Everybody else who's not watching us on YouTube is seeing us with the title that I gave us, but heaven forbid the C word be on YouTube. I literally deleted that word and all of a sudden it said, okay, you may enter now. What?
That's so crazy.
Drives me insane.
And by the C word, we're talking, the tinfoil hat.
Right.
Not the sickness.
Oh my gosh. Yes, correct. So today I'm not going to tell you what to think. I want you to learn critical thinking. I want you to start to get out of the mindset that you need to be somebody who is spoon-fed all of the information you're given, and that you must believe everything that every single, government organization especially has ever told you that you are to believe.
I don't care who's heading up the administration.
Agreed. It does not matter. You need to start thinking critically. And there's been several things that have popped up in the last week that I've been looking into. And I'm just like, when you are deep diving, I've gotten to the point where I will look at studies that the CDC and the NIH did, and then I'll look at who funded them. Yes. And then I will shut them and go look for some real information, because
that's the problem with the whole entire world, is because who has time to go do that much research on everything, right?
You don't.
So that's why I think that people tend to fall into the trap of believing what they see or one thing that they hear, is because none of us have time to go look for the truth. We don't.
And even those of us who are big fans of the Maha movement, you've got to be cautious, because the reality is politics is still alive.
Yes.
We are definitely further ahead, but also keep in mind that shift just happened months ago. Okay.
That's right.
Most of the research out there is from years ago.
Yes.
You cannot take everything at face value. And while we might get some really cool new information, there's still research involved that you don't know 100% where it came from. They're working to change that, but who's going to be at the head of all of this 4 years from now, or even 2 years from now? And so you still have to go about this with a mindset of, okay, cool, I like some of the stuff I'm hearing, but I'm still going to be very leery on what I trust. Yeah. And I really just, again, I want to stress, I'm not going to be telling you what to do today at all. It's more how to think. Okay. Yeah.
Options. I like to think of it as options.
Yes. And
ask yourself questions.
Yep. Yep. I want you to be forever thinking about weighing the benefits and the risks.
Yes.
Okay. I also want you to be aware that there are thousands of diseases out there that could potentially kill you.
Yep.
But the ones that we're taught to be afraid of
Yep.
happen to be the ones where there are vaccines available. Okay. Just saying. Now, some of them, sure. Okay. They were horribly scary, massive outbreaks. They needed to come up with something, back 80 years ago or whatever. But
I never will be in fear of chicken pox or
100%
shingles or
no.
measles or mumps. No. I mean, we grew up in the generation where they had the parties. We had the chicken pox parties. We had
and that's what I want you young mamas to hear, is that I want you to research, is the thing that my doctor is wanting me to vaccinate my child against, is it deadly? And deadly, I'm sorry, you can find statistics that say everything has killed somebody.
Yeah.
Okay. That is, and I please hear my heart in this. I'm not trying to be flippant about it. But if 3 people died from something, I hate it for those 3 people. It absolutely breaks my heart. But how many people were vaccine injured when, fighting against the thing that only killed 3 people, And the thing is that the way that they fearmonger everybody, it is absolutely, it's sinister.
I'll tell you something else that's disgusting too.
Mm-hmm.
The people that are on government assistance,
mm-hmm.
They have Medicaid. They are told what shots their children have to have by when, or they lose their assistance.
You're kidding me.
I am not kidding. That's disgusting.
That is disgusting. That I pray if RFK doesn't get anything else done, make that change. That's horrible.
No one should have a say over that. Nobody.
No.
Nobody. That is a parental choice. And I understand my kids don't think a lot like me, but I think finally convinced my daughter, if you're going to do them as they recommend, then do one at a time.
Yeah.
And maybe wait till they're just a little bit older.
Yeah.
When their systems can handle it a little better.
We're throwing so much in a baby. It just doesn't even make sense.
And she'll throw at me that you got us vaccines. Yes, I did. But vaccines, go look at things, even our food. I think it was Dr. Hyman that put out on Halloween the ingredients for like the top 5 candy bars in the 1970 versus the ingredients in those same candy bars today. They're not the same.
They are not the same.
And the vaccines aren't the same either.
No. And I did vaccinate my kids when I was, I
did too.
Young mama. But in the 90s, there was early 90s, I'm talking, because they were born in 92 and 93. What, like 12? I mean, there was not many.
Think it was even that. I think my kids only got like 8.
Yeah, there were not many.
And then they had to have one when they hit middle school or something.
Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is just insane. I'm not saying that there aren't benefits in some of them, but you need to weigh so many things.
Risk versus reward.
And I'm so grateful that states like Florida and Tennessee, and there's others, are starting to make it so that you don't have to, and they can't force you in the schools. Right. I mean, if you really look at the data, first of all, can we normalize something, please? Go back to the days pre-COVID, when we understood that a vaccine was given to protect the human getting the vaccine and not saving the world.
It does nothing for anyone around you.
That is something that has made me absolutely crazy. And the narrative is, oh, but you're reducing the risk in that person, so then they won't be able to spread it. That's garbage.
Yep.
Okay. If
Yep.
you are that worried about contracting XYZ, you get the shot.
That's right.
You get it to protect you. You're not doing a thing for me, because let me tell you something. I haven't gotten vaccinated one time since all this craziness started. And the 2 times that I had it, it was like a cold, mild flu, something that I have zero reason to fight against.
Yeah, I've never gotten it.
Let my body do the fighting. I know people who have gotten them. I also know people who didn't get it and died. But they also, you know, when they're 400 pounds, they have every disease known to man, or they have asthma, or they ended up in the ICU during that time when the stuff they were giving them was killing them. They won't admit that. You know, refusing to do high dose vitamin C, refusing to do all the natural treatments that have been proven to help. No, we got to give them these meds. Woo!
Yeah. And that's the only protocol.
Yeah.
The only protocol.
Yeah. I guarantee you right now, we're probably getting shadow banned, but that's all right. If you didn't learn anything else from that whole world of 5 years ago, I want you to realize that they will give you whatever information they are spoon feeding you.
Yes.
That is what you are going to hear. And unfortunately, exactly what I just shared earlier, I'm trying to fight against by creating my own app and my own platform, is because I am tired of being silenced when I have done so much research and know the truth on certain things. You know, I am tired of YouTube and you know, I'm
even going to go this far. Don't even take our word for things that we talk about. Always, please go look for yourselves. Go research for yourselves those things that you're passionate about, that you are interested in.
Yep.
Then go, yes, absolutely. Go do deep dives. Find out more for yourself.
You need to learn about the diseases that your kids are being vaccinated against, so that you can make the decision. You know, I mean, like, you know, definitely informed consent. I have a whole bunch of notes here just to make sure I don't miss anything. So benefits, risks, alternatives, and the option to decline or delay for any intervention. That's one thing you need to know. Separate out, when you're learning information, the risk of exposure. How likely are you to come in contact with that pathogen? Okay. A prime example, and one I was going to talk about in a little bit, but it's perfect right here, is tetanus.
Yeah.
Do you know in the 40s, when tetanus was, first of all, when they made the tetanus vaccine, you still had, it was like 0.004% chance of even getting it. And then there were a lot of people that had cows and horses and things like that. Well, do you know how you get tetanus? It is something that grows on the feces of cows and horses. If you are living in suburbia and you got no cows and horses around you, and you get a scratch from something outside, that is not going to be what gives you tetanus. Plus, not only that, we were always taught it was rusty nails and stuff like that. No, they said that because, oh, rusty nails are probably dirty. If rusty nails were not sitting in soil that was contaminated by cow and horse feces, it's not going to be a problem. Plus, get this. Here's the other thing. You want to talk about, you got to have a perfect storm to have any kind of death from tetanus. And this is what was going on in the 40s. Okay. So in order to contract tetanus, it has to be a deep enough puncture wound that it becomes an anaerobic pocket. So something that no oxygen is getting to, so that the tetanus can live, so that bacteria can live.
Okay.
If you get, because I know I used to give people tetanus shots all the time for getting a little scrape on a swing set.
You're right.
If it is a more surface level scratch and oxygen's getting to it, even if you are getting it from a swing set that was in a yard with a bunch of cows, you are not going to get tetanus because of the oxygen that gets to it. So when I tell you, you need to find out, okay, what is the likelihood that I am going to get this disease? If it is that low risk, then ask yourself, is it worth me putting something in my body to prevent myself from being one of the 3 people in the world that are going to die from it next year? You know, I mean, those are the things. Now, no judgment. If you are terrified, you're going to be one of those 3 people and you live on a farm with a whole bunch of cows. And, you know, even if you don't, it's still no judgment. But my point is, at least understand what you are vaccinating against. And then maybe you can cut some of them out, you know, or delay some, or choose which ones make sense. And like you mentioned earlier, the chickenpox one. I promise you, if your parents were from any time pre-1992 or 1993, they had chickenpox and they didn't die. Because here you are. I mean, it is so incredibly rare to non-existent. Did you ever know of a kid who died when we were kids of chickenpox?
No.
I mean, I'm sure the statistics will show.
I'm sure it happened, but I guarantee you it was rare.
Extremely rare.
Yes.
But yet the interesting thing about that I have wanted to know, I would love to see the research on this, but it doesn't fit any agendas. So I don't think it's been done. I've searched. I want to know what the shingles instances have done in this world since that chickenpox vaccine has come to be. Because I can tell you right now, I have never in my life seen so many shingles cases. Never even hardly heard about it when we were young.
Well, there's a lot of fear mongering going on about that shingles too.
Yeah.
I know the last 2 times Rick went to the transplant team, that's all they were pushing was the shingles vaccine. And I'm like, wow, why all of a sudden is everybody pushing this shingles vaccine?
And yet the instances are going up. I've never seen more shingles in my life than since the shingles vax came out. And I do believe because they're related, they're similar to the same
What are you
virus.
talking about? There's no correlation.
Of course not.
Just put your tinfoil hat on.
Right. Sit there with my tinfoil hat on and shut up. So just look at what the risk of exposure is. If you are somebody who is at high risk for something and you want to make sure you're protected, get it. That's what they should be there for. It should be an informed choice. You know, I know that we are at high risk for this. I'll give you an example. When I went on a mission trip to Honduras, you can bet that I got vaccinated against Hep A and typhoid and all the things, because guess what? They got a lot of that stuff in their water and all this, you know, especially the areas I was going to. So yes, I am by no means anti-vax.
No, we're definitely not anti-vax.
No, but
we're just not get every vax.
No, and make informed choices.
Yes.
You know, you're not going to. I'm tired.
During COVID, that was the thing that bugged me the most. During COVID, when the vaccines came out, and I asked the doctor specifically, what's in it?
Yeah.
When they couldn't tell me, I wasn't getting it.
Yeah.
And because that's not an informed decision. If they can't tell you that, then there's no way for you to be informed.
Yeah. I will tell you, and this is a direction I won't even go today. Do your own research. But I'm going to tell you right now, just this week, I saw where they just announced that all the people, and I never weighed in on this. I'm anti-abortion, period. End of story. I have been since I was 8 years old. I will be till the day I die. Ever since I heard what it was, I've been against it. I So the whole, aborted fetal cells being in all these things and all that stuff, I never even weighed in on it because it doesn't, I wouldn't love it, but at the same time, it doesn't make hide nor hair to me because I don't want any abortions anyway. So that doesn't change my mind.
Right.
However, some stuff came out this week proving that there is some validity to that. And all the people with the tinfoil hats on that were saying, I'm not taking it because of aborted fetal cells, it's been proven that it's factual. And that's not just the COVID vax, it's many others. So, it's insane to me that, you just got to do your homework.
Yes.
You got to do your homework. So look at the risk of exposure, demand absolute numbers, not percentages. How many per 100,000 are not, because a lot of times the percentages you get are relative percentages.
Yes.
They're like, oh, well, everybody who's in this age bracket of this race standing on one leg and, and that's how many people happen to die, so they build up the percentages that way. You need to know for sure how many per 100,000 has this affected. And if you do that across the board, the biggest problem we have that we don't have good data for, and it ticks me off, and I really do, I'm very hopeful that we will start getting more of this because there has been immunity for the pharmaceutical companies. We don't have good data about vaccine injuries.
Nope.
Because once they got that immunity that nobody could come after them, nobody bothered testing it. And guess who's run all of the studies at the NIH and CDC and everything else? The pharmaceutical companies. So you're going to get exactly the data they want you to get.
Yep.
So, know your baseline risk. What is your absolute risk reduction? Another prime example, the flu. I have not taken a flu shot since I have not been forced. One of the reasons that I traveled 3.5 hours a day once I finished my contract when I moved to Maryland, because Maryland is one of these insane states that forces the flu vax on you. I said, I'm not going to be forced. At least in Virginia, I wasn't forced. They strongly encouraged it, and I had to wear a mask if I didn't. But let me tell you something. This is something that has always been a passion of mine since before I was in nursing school. My husband, my first husband, my kid's dad, when he's a biochemist and just would learn all this insane stuff in the 90s when he was in graduate school. And he would come home and tell me about the flu shot because it blew his mind about how so many people, they were actually teaching them a little bit more truth back then. I guarantee you biochemists in college now are not getting all this data, but they were actually showing them real data about how they are just vaccinating against last year's strain. And it's just kind of it might work, it might not. So I have known this for 30 years.
Yeah.
We get into, conventional medicine world where they're acting like you're going to, die if you don't get the flu shot. And I would purposely, because of the information I knew from him, I would look every year. How effective is it? Yep. Not 1 year in 25 years have I ever seen it over 61% effective, and many years as low as 11, 13%.
Yep.
Why am I going to stick something in there that gives me symptoms every single time I get it and makes me sick that has chemicals in it? For an 11% chance that it might help, even for a 60% chance that it might help when I'm an otherwise healthy person and I do just fine.
And we know the natural way to boost immunity and take care of ourselves when we have a mild sickness.
Yes, we do. We also know that if we live a healthy lifestyle, the likelihood of us getting these things, we're going to have a robust immune system.
The healthier you are, the better you eat, the more you exercise, the lower your chances of even getting it.
Yep. My mama, 84 years old, about to turn 84 years old next month. She, praise God, hates going to the doctor. Right. And when we go, we have found a wonderful doctor that pushes nothing on her.
Nice.
Won't push the mammogram on her anymore. Won't push, the pneumonia shot, the flu shot, anything, because she's never had any of them.
Right.
And never gets sick. Never gets sick. The only time in her retired life in the last 25, 30 years that she's gotten sick was when she let somebody take her gallbladder out.
Right.
And she was deathly ill for a year after that because of all kinds of complications. Other than that, she has never, ever, ever gotten any of these things. And I mean, it's just, you have to ask yourself, what is the risk and what are the benefits? So I am not here to scare you. I'm here to hand you the flashlight. And that is what I want you to see this as. I just want you to be aware that there are questions you can ask. And you know what? If you have a doctor, especially you young mamas with pediatricians, it made me so mad. My daughter's first pediatrician for her babies would absolutely make her feel like garbage for asking questions. And this
I think they're taught that in medical school, because my daughter says the same thing. If they even question,
oh yeah,
they make them feel like a bad parent. Oh, you're not going to do the right thing by your child.
Exactly.
And like you're going to kill your child if you don't get them this shot.
Exactly. But what it boils down to, y'all really want to go wild with conspiracies?
Yes.
Find out what happens if these doctors don't have like a whatever percent of kids vaccinated. There's a reason why a lot of these doctors are firing their patients before you get a chance to fire them. Because if they don't have a certain percentage, they miss out on so much money. They miss out on so many dollar incentives.
That is disgusting.
It is sick. So they don't care about you. Nope. They care about their numbers, and they're firing people to get their percentage looking better. Yep. So all of you that don't want, that have questions and don't want to vaccinate, you are going to get questioned and you might get fired. But you know what?
They will make you feel horrible. They will make you feel horrible. But you know what? Keep looking for a new doctor.
Absolutely.
They're more and more coming out with that believe the same thing we do and think the same way and are okay with you asking any question that you want to ask.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So also, I want you to look at the disease profiles. This really goes along the lines with, vaccinating a baby for hepatitis when they're coming out of the womb. Look at the disease profile. What is the usual age that people get these diseases? What is the typical severity today? Not in the years before we had all of the cleanliness. You all do realize that that's one of the biggest things too. One of the reasons we don't have as much risk is because we understand we're in a much more sanitized world. We
wash our hands.
Yes.
And our water is clean.
Our water is clean. That's the biggest thing. Like I said, when I went to Honduras, I knew there was a risk that I was not going to have clean water. So I was more cautious. When I'm here, I am not worried about all of the diseases they had back then. So, how do you get these things? What is the seasonality, the complications? And who is actually at risk? There is no reason, unless a baby is being born to a drug addicted mother and also has, hepatitis. There's really no reason to be vaccinating your baby against hepatitis right out of the womb. No, it's crazy to me. Also know your child's profile. Obviously, these are things what's their medical history? What's their nutrient status? Gut or immune issues. A lot of these things you can take care of by learning to feed them right out of the gates.
Yep.
Any prior reactions and family history. Family history has been big with you because your poor grandbabies have had boom, 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 one right after the other, shortly after the vaccines getting,
seizures, having seizures.
Yeah,
and the good news, Clayton had his 48-hour neuro evaluation last week in the hospital, and everything was clear.
Amazing. That's awesome. I'm so grateful.
They will never admit that it's vaccine related.
No, never. No, not at all. Not at all. So, also know your off ramps and your options. You don't have to do it on their schedule. If it's something that's important to you, don't feel bad about delaying it.
Yeah, slow roll, one at a time.
Yeah.
And this is how I put it to my daughter. It's like, one time the baby was scheduled for 4 shots at one time. And I'm like, well, if he has a reaction, how do you know which one it is?
You don't. Bingo. It's the same stinking thing I do when I test people on foods.
Yes.
If I all of a sudden said, hey, here's all the potential inflammatory foods, go have a buffet, we have no idea.
It makes no sense, right? So she finally did ask the doctor. Yeah. Well, because she was like, I would prefer to do one at a time. Mm-hmm. And he was like, why? And she's like, well, because my other 2 kids had seizures, and if he has a reaction to something, how am I going to know what he's reacting to? They couldn't argue with her when she put it like that.
It's so true.
Because like if they're getting more than 1 shot, they can't tell you anything if something happens afterwards.
And I never even thought about this until you just said this, but how much of that is by design? Because we can't blame anyone.
You can't sue them. If your child has God forbid, if your child has a deadly reaction, you can't sue them. They'll never admit that it was their shot that caused that baby's death.
And that's the biggest thing. You guys are going to see the whole world shift when it comes to vaccines. Yep. If RFK can pull off what he's talked about and reverse that immunity on the vaccine companies, that needs to happen. Because nobody should be getting immunity for anything that they're putting in
McDonald's because the coffee was too hot, then you should be able to sue the pharmaceutical companies because you had some kind of adverse reaction to their drug.
Especially when it's something you're being told you have no choice.
Yes.
1,000%.
I don't agree with any of that. Any of the 4 stuff, I don't agree with none of it.
Nope. But for sure, that's why they've gotten away with forcing it for so long. So
because they don't have any accountability. They don't have to pay for it.
Zero. So that has got to change. If that doesn't change, we're gonna continue to go down this road, and they're gonna just keep pushing more and more. So I'm so proud of so many. I'll tell you what, Kirsty and Becca's generation. Yeah. Praise God. I mean, these young mamas in their early 30s, late 20s, they don't take no crap.
No, they don't.
And they are not afraid to ask questions. I would have been terrified to ask questions back in the day. I didn't know
because we trusted it. We just blindly trusted because that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And our parents did it that way. And
right. I trusted everything until I realized how bad the food was 14 years ago. That was my awakening. And now
one thing leads to another, right?
I've learned to question it all now because it is insane. It is absolutely insane. I just talked with somebody that came to one of my information sessions yesterday who went to Ireland. Yeah. And totally off topic, but it just made me think of that. So many foods she can't eat here. She went over there and had 0 problems. And I said, well, that's what happens when you have 400 additives in a country versus over 10,000.
My friend Marty just went to Portugal and she said the same thing. She said, we walked so much every day because it's very hilly and all like that. She said, but I feel like I ate normal and felt so much better.
You do. You're not
flooded with because they don't have all the junk.
You're not flooded with garbage. All right. I know that this has gone on and on, but I got one more thing I want to talk about. So, Wendy, are you good? Do you need
I'm good. Okay.
All right.
Rigid flexibility all over the place today.
This is my new conspiracy theory that I am dying to find out. I encourage everybody to watch Tucker Carlson's podcast from yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before. I think it was yesterday's. On the guy that he found that has been working in, that has been studying geoengineering, chemtrails, contrails, all that stuff for 30 years. this dude was the real deal. Before he ever spoke up about anything, he spent 18 months testing the rainwater himself at his home just to make sure he wasn't crazy. And this was 30 years ago. And he was finding so much aluminum in his rainwater and all these things. I mean, to listen to this dude, it was stuff that I knew, but to hear this guy who has dedicated his life to researching it blew me away. Now, here's something I didn't know, and maybe I should have known, because honestly, unless a conspiracy theory is something that, not that it doesn't directly affect me, but unless it's like I have to do bite-sized chunks. It's like, okay, right now I'm all about the food. Tomorrow I'm going to be all about this, and I'm just, because I really want to learn, and I don't want to just, I'm not a soundbite and snapshot girl.
Yeah.
When I learn something and I regurgitate it to you, it's because I have learned a lot about this topic. So this dude blew my mind when he talked about the whole reason behind all of this starting 30 years ago was so that to reduce global warming. Did you know this?
Some parts of it.
Okay. So to reduce global warming, and what they're doing with the aluminum and some of these other reflective particles is to reduce the amount of light that is being filtered down to us, thus reducing the heat, and in their minds, reducing global warming. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In turn, what's the first thing I thought? And I can't find any studies about this, y'all. So this is Wendy creating her own conspiracy theory. Do you know how many people I work with, including myself and my husband, who are outside all the time, that have dangerously low vitamin D levels? How long has that been going on? Because vitamin D used to never be a worry. It makes sense to me when people have low vitamin D, when they are, TV junkies and sitting in their mama's
never go outside.
Yeah, when they're sitting in their mama's basement all the time playing video games, not getting off their butt and staring at a screen all day. Yes, vitamin D is going to be dropped. The biggest shocker to me was that my husband and I had low vitamin D in, what was it? We were tested last year in September.
Yeah.
September, when we
After you've been outside all spring and summer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like, and we, they say that to get enough vitamin D, you just need roughly 20 minutes a day with as much of your body uncovered. Let me tell you something. One of the things I love about being in the country is because homegirl in her 50s is still wearing very little. That's not an invitation for anybody to come. It's not pretty. I can tell you, it's not a pretty sight. But my point is when I'm in my garden, I wear as little as I need to so that I am getting tons. Plus, it's hot. I'm getting exposed to the vitamin D. So how in God's name were we both low in September with all the gardening time we spend? So it made me immediately start going, I wonder if this is one of the reasons. I mean, it's again, this is me. This is the way I critically think. Okay?
No, it makes sense, because if they're putting things in the air like that, it could be blocking a lot of the actual vitamin D.
Absolutely. So again, this is not me saying anything factual. I tried my darndest to find somebody that has done research on this, but it would make total sense. I know that there's a lot of things that block vitamin D, people who are severely overweight, and things like that. But again, I mean, I've never been a toothpick, but I'm by no means severely overweight. I'm in the sun all the time. It's just, it makes no sense.
Well, I'll tell you this. I saw where Ron DeSantis in Florida banned the spraying and the chemicals and the air seeding and the cloud seeding. He banned all of it. And isn't it amazing that there were no hurricanes in Florida this year?
And Tennessee is doing the same thing now.
Yeah. And so that tells me that they're just now realizing the damage that it does.
Yeah.
two, it tells me that's absolutely true. It's not a conspiracy anymore.
Oh,
Otherwise,
that's been
states
known.
wouldn't be banning it.
That's been known since, what was it, the Vietnam War? Or
Yeah.
maybe before that. But the Vietnam War, they were using it as chemical warfare
Yes.
to change weather patterns.
Yes.
They were using it for that purpose to benefit the Americans. Our American military was using it. So, I mean, that's been a known thing. And everybody that says, oh, it's a conspiracy theory, they can't adjust the weather. No, it's not. As a matter of fact, this is one of the things that guy was talking about on Tucker's show, is that there's activity they are researching by the Chinese at times when there was that massive snowstorm in New Orleans, when Texas had their deep freeze. What was it, 5 years ago? A few years ago?
Yeah.
They're doing there's some potential that there was some Chinese involvement in that. Now, again, I don't know that. I'm just telling you what this guy said. But he's devoted his life to this.
Makes sense for it to be a type of warfare because, I mean, like you said, the United States had it as used it in warfare during Vietnam. So it has been around a long time.
It has.
And don't think that they just stopped using it.
Nope. Nope. They definitely
whatever we tend to invent or come up with, eventually other countries have it too.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah. So anyway, I just, my whole point of wanting to bring up this topic today was use your brain, just use your brain.
Ask questions, look things up, use more than one source.
Do not just accept a life of being spoon-fed.
No.
We are seeing the results of that, not only in our health, but in society and in all the people that fight. Do you know how many people fight because of something they got from a soundbite? I mean, that is the stupidest crap I've ever seen in my life. And, whether it be politics, health.
It doesn't matter what it is.
Sports, I don't care what it is.
The keyboard has made people extremely brave.
Yes. And they're fighting over either sound bites that they don't have all the information about, or they're fighting about people who don't even know their name. And I said something about that. I posted something about that right after the election, because everybody arguing about the stupid politics. I get so sick of it. You are going to die on a hill for somebody who doesn't even know your name, when the one who does know your name is the only one we should be fighting for.
Because that one knows every hair on your head.
Yes. And loves you like not one of these politicians could ever, or anybody ever could.
Well, that's, with stuff like that, I tend to ask the question, is this going to matter in 5 years? And sometimes you just have to take that deep breath and ask yourself that.
Yeah.
Because it's not, you may feel strongly about it now, but is it really going to matter in 5 years?
Mm-mm. And you know what? I've learned this. Gosh, I can't remember who it was that was talking about this. You and I have talked about this at length. That in reality, when it comes to politics, where you need to put your energy is local.
Yep.
You don't need to stress out over state. Yep. I mean, state more, but definitely not federal. And do you know why? Because the reality is you have no control over what is happening up there in DC. You can pray about it, but you have zero control about that. There is so much politics, so much devious garbage going on, no matter what party is
coming for so many years. It's the uniparty is a thing.
It is
all feathers of the same bird kind of thing, and it's no use to fight over it.
Nope.
The best thing that we can do is live our lives and live it locally.
Yep.
I'm not saying don't go vote.
No, I will always
going to vote in every election that's held.
Yep.
But to get worked up or to hate people or to fight with people, no. Now, am I for a healthy debate? Sure, I am.
Of course.
I am all for a healthy debate and discussing differences and agreeing to disagree. Yeah. I'm all for that. But all of
losing
the hate
friends,
speech and the name calling and, oh, I can't hang out with you no more. I don't like you anymore. Or this person's awful because they believe this way. No, you know what? I don't believe in abortion, but I don't hate people that do.
heck no.
You know,
Same. You know, when I have my convictions, they're my convictions.
exactly. That, and they, you know, God's convicted me of certain things, and He continues to change that. You know, I have. We all have a past, and in the past I used to do things a certain way.
Yeah.
And when God convicts you to change things, He will.
Yeah.
And it's not my place to tell other people that they need to change the way I did. No,
Right.
because I still have a lot of changing to do myself.
Exactly. And you know what? Get involved locally to actually make a difference in these things that
That's
do
right.
matter to you. You
That's
know,
right.
Forest
Even if it's your community homeowners association or something, you know?
Well, I mean, and even things like, you know, if you are so one way or the other, just since we both have just mentioned abortion, if you're so one way or the other in your belief system, instead of arguing online, get out there and help.
That's right.
You know, get
That's
out there
right.
and help your local, young mamas who need help if you're pro-life.
Yeah.
You
Go
know,
volunteer
don't argue.
somewhere in the area that you're passionate about.
Yeah, or get out there and open up your home to somebody who needs help. You
Yeah.
know, put your money where your mouth is. You
Yeah.
know, our family, I am so grateful that we, you know, we believe in helping those who are addicted. We believe in helping my daughter and son-in-law opened their home to a little girl whose mama chose life, praise God.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I just can't stand it when people just fight and just run their mouth instead of actually doing something. And I'm not saying any of that to pat myself on the back. I'm just giving you examples of like, get out there and help. Find out in your church what they're doing. You know, I just recently, just this Saturday, found out that there's a house that we support in our church for people who are, you know, getting back to life after being homeless. And there are more children than women there. So a lot of these mamas have, you know, multiple kids. They need help.
Yeah.
Get out there and help. So, you know, I don't know. All right.
Back to center.
Thank you, Lord Jesus, for giving me my convictions. I'm so grateful to you, and help me to remember that sometimes, you know, we just have to put action. We have to run the race, not talk about the race, right?
Right. That's right. And, you know, and do it all while being loving.
Yes. Be the hands of
That's hard.
It is.
To love someone that you know wants to argue and fight with you. That's hard.
It is. It is. It is so hard. So anyway, girl, what a fun discussion. So what are you up to this next week? I bet I can guess.
Oh, the WOW retreat.
We are so excited. We are going to be here Saturday for our first of our 3-part series. This time, hopefully the first of many, 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 many to come.
Yes.
But this is the
Nourish and Flourish.
Nourish and Flourish. Thank you. Reclaim and Renew was another one I did. Oh my goodness, how terrible. I was like, wait a minute, it just left my brain. Nourish and Flourish series. And this is the holiday edition this Saturday. This is our only one that is one day. Both of the ones next year are 2 days. So come hang out with us then too. But yeah, we're excited to pour into these ladies that have signed up, and we even have
surprises for them.
We do. We even have some surprises. We realized we had enough time to work in something else. And so if any of them are listening, get ready. We're so excited.
That's right.
So I will see you in 2 days, my love.
I know. I can't wait.
So excited. But all the rest of you who are coming, we'll see you in 3 days. Cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. Also, please look out for my crazy mug all over social media as I'm fighting algorithms to get the word out about this new this new mission that I'm working on, and I need your help. I need your support. I'm not one to beg. A lot of my programs, it's like, take it or leave it. No, I'm telling you, if we are going to create a revolution to totally get off of the teat of all these social media platforms that tell us what we can and can't say,
right.
I need your help.
Time to take action.
And I more than anything want so desperately to flip the model of people who need preventative and integrative medicine help to only be able to afford private pay.
Yeah.
And this is going to change that. If I can get enough people behind me to help me push this and create a momentum, then we are going to totally flip it. It's going to be low cost. It's going to be something that is going to change thousands of lives. And I'm so excited.
It is very exciting.
All right. Anything else, sister?
Not that I could think of. I'm going to go get prepared and start packing up the stuff for Saturday.
Woo-hoo. All right. We love you guys. Be well. And we will see you next Wednesday.
Yes, ma'am.
Mwah.